the bag work about of apartment 5B.
You're now tuned into the Apartment 5B podcast, where we chop it up about hip-hop, R&B, sports, love and life. Hosted by Kill.
What's good? You tune to Apartment 5B with your man Kill. Y'all got my squad effect with me tonight. As always, ladies first, Porsche, what's good?
All is well, Kill. How are you?
Hey, Canada's went away from winning a chip for the whole country.
Oh, God, don't get me started. These Raptors fans are embarrassing all of us, every single one of us.
It's all good. DJ Raekwon, what's good, brother?
Same old, man.
All right. Nick out the ATL, what's good?
How's it going, man?
Oh, man, everything is dope. Tonight is Porsche's show. So, Porsche, you tell us what we're chopping it up about tonight.
So a little while ago now, there was a giant conversation on Twitter, obviously, about rappers who are dope as hell. Everyone has everything good to say about them, but then when you look at their discography, they don't have classic albums, but maybe they should have. So I got to talking and thought, what other MCs are there that should have had classic albums or released albums and their albums were great, but for some reason didn't go classic? So who are those MCs and which album is it that should have been classic and isn't deemed that widely accepted as such?
All right, well, you set it off. What you got on tap?
Okay, well, I'll start with the rapper and album that started the whole conversation, and it's Method Man with the Tical album. So, dope rapper. I think there is not a single rapper that I've heard people praise as much as Method Man. Talk about how dope he is on verses, how good he is as a guest MC, how he collaborates and just kills every guest feature. But then when it comes to his own albums, what gives? What's going on? So I got Tical. I think that should have been. I mean, Meth has all the requirements of an MC to make a classic album, and Tical is a dope joint, but it's just not, to me, it falls short. So that's my first one.
So why you think it fell off? Why you think at the point where, because everything was lining up for him. We're not in the Diddy era yet, so we ain't in the Get Money era. We ain't.
Yeah, honestly, I think the Tical album was just, maybe it was the hype. I feel like it was the hype around it, and it just fell short in lyrics. I want to say the beats aren't overly exciting. They're great, but they're not anything like dope or whatever. Again, great album, good album, but it's just not a classic. It hovers at around 3.5 mics, 4 mics, solid, but just not a classic album. I don't know.
Nick, what you think it is?
What about Tical?
Yeah.
The production and the fact that, man, it's hard for me being a fan of DJ Quick and Dr. Dre, for one. Even 36 Chambers was hard for me to love because of the mixing. It sounded like that shit was recorded down the hall. You know what I'm saying? And Tical kind of suffered from the same thing, because it's the more albums RZA did, the better the sound quality got. By the time it got to Only Built for Cuban Links, that one, Liquid Swords and Iron Man, the sound, the clarity was there. On Tical, man, it's just muddy. It's just maybe that's how he wanted it to sound, but yeah, some of those beats just weren't great. But Method Man is such a charismatic MC that he still had your attention for most of the tracks anyway.
All right, what you think, Brad?
I agree with Nick, man. The beats, it wasn't there. It's almost I think the album came out too early, if you ask me, from a production standpoint, because RZA didn't start hitting the flow until that Jizza album hit. Just album hit, that was the beginning of a stretch that RZA was killing. And
Hold up, didn't Ray drop?
Only built that song.
Yeah, Ray dropped before. Only Built dropped before the GZA joint.
Yep. So it just, I just don't think he caught steam like he should have, man. Radio wasn't that important because DJs was playing whatever they felt back then. Bring the Pain was a big joint. I still got that wax to this day. It was big, but after that, it was like, okay, what else? You know what I'm saying? He didn't have a follow-up joint for that. I think had he had that, I think the album would have probably did something. But you gotta keep people's attention. Even back then, when we had time to sit with an album, you still gotta keep my attention. And I don't think he did that. The How High joint the year after had your attention, but he didn't get it from the gate. Yeah. Bring the Pain, and then what else?
Right. Yeah. The funny thing about
that's 94 too, because 94 was a
solid year. Yeah,
a lot of great albums.
Right. That was a solid year. So I don't want to say he got caught up in the hype of 94 because the album stood its ground, but it just didn't have that smash. Yeah. I give you a perfect example. Smith & Wesson, they had a couple of joints off that album that gave it push. Mm-hmm. Method Man to Cal did not have that.
Yeah. The wild part has always been a mystery to me because RZA had dope beats for the Wu album. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, the Tikal album wasn't there. You know what I mean? So I agree with y'all saying like he didn't catch his stride, but I almost feel like, well, then what happened with 36? Because you was banging on that, so you just dipped off or whatever. But to me, it's just one of the mysteries. But I definitely
so maybe Meth can't pick beats. You know what I mean? Maybe
he got bad beat syndrome.
Yeah.
But the wild part is that again, RZA was the executive producer, so I could definitely see RZA being like, nah, bro, I think you need this, or So I mean, that's the wild. It's like what we say about Nas. Nas himself can't pick beats, but with Meth, I mean, you got RZA right there next to you, calling the plays. So it's kind of hard to be like, maybe, I don't know. That's one of the mysteries of hip hop.
Oh, and another thing, piggyback off of what Rex said. He was on Def Jam too, so maybe the album was rushed. They're like, yo, this got to come out.
Right.
So maybe it was rushed.
Because think about it, that's a big deal in '94. Yeah, Def Jam. You signed to Def Jam?
You a man.
Yeah. So maybe it did get rushed because remember the East Coast really didn't. That was after the Chronic. We didn't have our East Coast ain't had a foothold on it like that. Yeah. And you got this crew of 9 cats, and you got arguably at the time everybody was championing Meth as the guy.
That's the best one. Yeah.
It was Meth. Yep. We hadn't heard anybody really yet, so it was like, yo, Meth. He had the Method Man joint. That was killer. That was killer. You cannot say that joint was not a banger. So I just think it got rushed to the point to where maybe they didn't get the chance to go back and say, hey, maybe we need to either redo something or something of the sort. I ain't saying pick a new song, but sometimes when you go back in post-production and you see what you don't have, you find that gem. You hear a lot of stories. Cats will be like, yo, this was the last track we recorded for the album. And it's always a banger. Unbelievable. Last track recorded for the album. Banger. That album, that song gave that album a second win. Personal opinion.
No, okay. And at that time, you had to have the Primo track too.
Correct.
Yeah, I feel you. All right, Nick, what you got for one of yours?
I'm gonna go with Jadakiss because
nice.
Dope MC, bars for days. When you talk about the lots at that time, it was Jadakiss. He was the standout MC.
Yes.
And then when the solo came out, it's like, but I will say this: he suffered because it was post Life After Death. And when Life After Death hit, you had to have the street banger, you had to have the club song, you had to have the chick song. Then with working with Bone Thugs, you got to have songs for other regions that's outside of your comfort zone. Mm-hmm. So his album suffered for that because he tried to just cover too many grounds.
No, you're right. Right. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, the Jadakiss. Like he was supposed. Styles ended up being the MC, kind of carry the torch, kind of like Ghostface for Wu. Nobody expected Ghost to be the man. I don't think many people thought Styles would be the dude in the locks, but he is.
I don't think anybody did, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the funny thing about that is that it's a good point you made about Styles, because I think sometimes with those MCs who aren't supposed to be the man, they're able to do what they want to do.
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
Whereas, like, if you, like you said, like I always say, people like Kiss, Fab, Cassidy, I don't think they ever really got the chance to make that hip hop 5 mic banger, because, like you said, they was post life after death. You had to check so many boxes to get your joint out there. Where somebody like Styles, nobody's expecting nothing from Styles, so you don't got the label, you know, trying to push you to do this. He's able to just make the music he wants to make, and that's actually gonna turn into one of the people that kind of connects one of the people that I got. But we'll get.
You just named another one of mine when you just. I think you know who.
All right, Rec, what you got up?
All right, man. Y'all know me. I go left field. Hey, look, man. I thought that this dude was. I ain't gonna say he was the Messiah, but I definitely was looking forward to whatever was coming off this album. Can I Bust?
No. I'm with that.
Yeah.
Straight woodchuck. If a woodchuck could chuck wood. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was a situation where he had the bait and switch and just they hit him with the that's dope. Because I've heard that story. But for someone to have so much mixtape acclaim, he had the chance to bubble. He was on joints with, you know what I'm saying, LL. He had joints with the Lost Boys. I mean, he was right in that pocket to where you was like, oh, okay, I'm definitely getting this album. And cats went and bought that album, and within days it was like, yo, this joint is trash. So I don't understand what happened. How do you figure what 12 songs that album has? There might be 2. And the others are like, where were you going? There was no it didn't seem like it was cohesive. It felt like it was a bad idea went terribly wrong as far as the album and the ideas along the album. I don't get it, man.
And what made matters worse was when you found out he turned down the Devil's Pie beat. Like, bro, that's banging harder than anything on your album.
You know, a lot of people turn that beat down.
That's crazy.
A lot of people turn that beat down. I don't know if I could see Cannabis on
that beat.
That beat, or on, I don't want to say any Premier beat at that time, but I don't know if I could have saw Cannabis on a beat like that.
Here's the wild part. I'm so tainted by Cannabis, I don't know if I can hear him on any beat at this point.
Well, yeah, definitely at this point. I mean,
even back then, I can't even sit here and tell you, yo, if 97 Cannabis would have got with Fill in the Blank, we'd be talking about this different. Like, of course, it's easy to be like, oh, just put him in the studio with Pete Rock or put him in the studio with Premier, but I don't even know if I can hear Cannabis over a Pete Rock beat. Like, it's something about him. Like, something about, I don't know if it's his flow, his voice, or something, but it's not as easy as just be like, oh, AZ, yo, give him Pete Rock. Like, put Skyzoo with Pete Rock. Like, that's going to connect.
You always talk about it, Kill. That's one of them rapidy rap cats. Yeah. And you just hit the nail on the head. He's over rapping tracks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was dope for like a verse here, like we did the Desperados on the Firm, Beast for the East with the Lost Boys.
Yeah, like what joint he had with Kyle on One Day It All Makes
Sense. Yeah.
Like, that was dope too.
Yeah.
Like you said, maybe it just needed to be a verse for Boy.
Yeah, like a whole album of that. It's like, nah.
Yeah. That was a rough album. First person I got up for mine, I got the Abstract Poetic, man. I
totally agree.
I expected Tip after, I mean, come on, this is Tribe. After People's Instinctives and Low End and Midnight and the other 2 albums, I'm just sitting here like, yo, Tip going solo, okay, boom. This we getting a 5 mic crazy album. You know what I mean? Because I've been in many conversations with people over the years. Maybe they didn't like Fife or Tip doing the beats anyway, so he don't need Ali. You know, we chopped it up numerous times about that on this show. Like, what did Fife do? What did Ali do? Why ain't Tip just solo? You know what I mean? So it was like, so I will never forget when they sent the vinyl to the radio station. I put on Vibrant thing, Yo, I think the whole studio just played a game of freeze tag. We were sitting there like, the fuck is this? Like, this is the tip we've been with. This is the abstract joint that we have been waiting for. And then when I heard Breathe and Stop, and again, years later, Vibrant Thing and Breathe and Stop are bangers, but it just wasn't what I don't think any of us was expecting that.
Now from Tip, yeah.
He went straight club banger.
It's crazy with Tip because he's been part of Low End and Midnight Marauders, and those are classics. So he's got the potential to do it. Like, why can't he do it for himself, right?
Yes.
So,
But then again, it's the post life after death.
I think it's the post life after death, but I also think it's the post him becoming, Kamal Fareed or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I attribute that change, and I wrote this article on Beats, Rhymes, and Life and Why It Sucked about that being one of the reasons why, like, something changed with Tip. You know what I mean? Like him finding Dilla, the beats changed, his religion changed, just he changed. You know what I mean? So trust me, when I saw the album coming, this nigga with no shirt on with a fur coat, I'm like,
he was getting his Lenny Kravitz on, man. Come on.
Well, I mean, that's cool, but we didn't want Lenny Kravitz to. We wanted the abstract poet Incognito from Linden Boulevard. We didn't want Lenny Kravitz to.
That cover kind of pushed me away from that album. To the point where I didn't listen to that album almost to about 2007.
Yo, here's the wild one. This is how much I did not like that album. That Breathe and Stop has a ton of naked, half-naked women in it. And I was like, turn this shit off. Like, so turn off a whole bunch of half-naked women in the video. That goes to show you how much I didn't like Breathe and Stop. And then his other albums kept getting shelved. Like, he had a joint that was supposed to the Kamal the Abstract that got shelved. Then he had another joint open that was supposed to come out, I think, and that was 2004 on Arista that got shelved. And, we got the Renaissance. I thought the Renaissance was dope. I know a lot of people who really love it. I don't think it's 5 mics. So that's my only thing is that, coming from what Tip had done, as much as we praise him through all hip hop, you would think, you know what I mean? I think anybody who watched that Salute show we did about Tip would have left that show thinking, oh, damn, I know he's got 5 mic solo albums. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The fact that he doesn't, I don't know about this last Zulu. I don't know, because they post life after death. We post life after death.
Yeah, we post everything at this point.
We don't post everything. So I don't know what the fuck is left. Like, to make an album in 2019. So, but that's the first person I got is Tip. Porsche, who you got up next?
Inspector Deck, and the reason. I mean, I'll keep it brief. Nick, you can explain more. I just don't understand.
Do your thing.
I understand the whole, there was a flood. I don't even know at this point in 2019 if I believe there was ever a flood. I know that people say there was. I need to see pictures at this point to believe it. Like the pictures you submit to like insurance companies. Because it was, RZA lost 300 beats in this flood. And then it was like, well, he got some of them back, most of them back. And then it was like, okay, well, if he got most of them back, then why are we still using this flood as an excuse for absolutely everything that went sideways with the Wu after a certain point? But I get it. Deck's album was, it was supposed to drop. It didn't drop. The flood happened. Whatever. The album is just not a classic, and Deck is 100% capable of it. I love Deck. He's one of my favorites from the Wu. I just don't know why this guy cannot put out a classic. I don't know why. So.
And the wild part with Deck is he's, to me, the opposite of Cannabis. Like, if Deck, like, on Above the Clouds, like, you could put Deck in the studio. You could put Deck in the studio with Pete. You could put Deck in the studio with Alchemist. You could put Deck in the studio with anybody who just got dope beats. And to me, Deck would kill it. I've always just wondered, and I've talked about this before, there are times when there will be a producer who I would say, man, why is he only doing 1 or 2 tracks on an album? Like, he is dope. He needs to produce a whole album. Then he produces a whole album, and that whole album ain't good. And I'm like, there you go. You really one of them only, you like a 6th man, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with somebody who just, we need you to just come in and just lock down on such and such. Like, that is your assignment. For people who don't understand basketball, that's how it works with bench players. It's like you come in with an assignment. Like, we need rebounds, we need whatever. That's what and maybe Deck is just that person who is just incredibly dope for one verse. Like, that verse is gonna. I mean, everybody, whether it's Triumph, whether it's Above the Clouds, whether Deck. I think somebody posted that the other day on Twitter. Like, does Deck have the most quotables in the Source history?
Yeah, I saw that. You probably do.
Yeah, he might.
Probably do.
He might. But
Probably do.
again, I don't know if Deck is that dude to give you three bars, 3 16s, 14 times. You know what I mean? So that may just be the thing, and it's crazy because you're right. Even in the Wu documentary, I mean, they love Deck, the world loves Deck, and to be honest, I'm not excited about this Deck album that he's doing with this Eric Sermon sampling thing, and you gotta all that hoopla. I'm not excited about that. So I don't know with Deck, man. He may just be one of them off the bench MCs, which is no disrespect. Vinny, if people remember the Bad Boys, Vinny Johnson was a beast coming off the bench for the Pistons.
Yeah, all day.
Like Lou Williams coming off the bench for the
bench. Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. This is no disrespect whatsoever. These boys can ball, but they just have a certain lane, and their lane may not be the whole album. But I definitely feel you on Deck. What you got up, Nick? Oh, you want to elaborate on Deck some more?
Yeah, Miles was Deck too, but y'all pretty much covered the reasons. Because like the first Wu album, he was the standout. He had the Protect Your Neck verse. His verse on Mystery 100%. Of Chess Boxing. Bang. Yep. He was on Cream. That was a single from the album. So he on Cream.
Cold World
on the Jizz album. Like, every time he touched the mic.
Shit, what was that shit on the Fresh soundtrack? That was Jizz. That's
Jizz. Yeah, on the Fresh soundtrack.
Yes. But, damn it, I don't remember.
He like you said, I don't know why everybody came out before him. Even if it was a flood, like Sons of Man, Capadonna, Killer Army, everybody came out before Deck. I just will never understand that.
Shit, King Just came out before Deck.
Yeah, King Just. Like, everybody from the Shaolin came out before Deck. I'm like, bruh, but like you said, he may just be one of those artists, because he don't have a classic song to me. He got dope songs, but there's not a Deck song where like, yo, this if I got to play like the greatest songs of all time, he don't have one. And I know a lot of fans gonna watch this video, and I've heard people call whatever album he had after Uncontrolled Substance a classic. People just throw classic around. They'll say the Czarface Project is classic.
I know he had another album after.
That's why I was like, he got
like 3 or 4 solo albums.
What is it called? I want to say like
it's independent.
Genesis or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Then he got the Czarface stuff that he's doing now, which is cool, but that just ain't delivered to me personally.
Yo, the wild part that I'm sitting here thinking about the Wu documentary? I'm wondering, how they all wanted to get off of whatever RZA's production company was? I'm wondering if that was part of the contract, that you got to give RZA beats, or RZA approved producers, because I don't understand with Deck and them. I think he was on Loud. Like with Loud, you connected with everybody. You in the building with Havoc. You in the building.
Exactly.
You in the building with Pete Rock.
Pete Rock. He was on Loud.
So it's one of those things where I'm wondering if maybe that was why they were so hell bent on getting off. Like somebody like that being like, nigga, I'm waiting. Like, let's go. Like, and you holding me back. So just a thought. That's
a good one.
Like I said, if you on Loud, you in the building with a lot of dope producers. So you shouldn't have no problem getting no beats. Right? Who you got up next?
This one pains me, man. This is one of my favorite MCs. Nick just said it, man. Bunch of songs, but no one cohesive classic album, and he should. Been in the game long enough. Busta Rhymes.
Yeah.
That shit hurt right, man. That shit hurt right now. Busta Rhymes got dope albums, 3.5 albums. But he don't got no 5 mic album, man, in his catalog. Has access to all kind of dope producers, always has. But I think he suffers a little bit too from bad beat syndrome, man. He'll have, 20 songs on the album, and 5, maybe 8 of them would be bangers, and the other 12 would be straight filler.
And the weird thing about Busta is that if you ask anyone who in the 90s made the best videos of all time, it's Busta. He of all time. Like, you talk about rap videos of the 90s, and the first thing that comes to mind is Hype Williams partnering with Busta to do these videos. He nails them. They are classic videos. Like, those videos are. But again, you're right, Rick.
it's crazy that you said that because you could see that even with Leaders of the New School. The video for Sob Story was crazy. Mm-hmm. If you look at it, it matched damn near verbatim, word for word, what the song was, and that lets you know that they had the forthcoming to say, okay, if we're gonna do these videos, we're gonna do them specifically as the song is, and they're gonna be dope even with a budget. But yeah, I've bought every Busta Rhymes album up until about 2007, and none of them have been classics. And he should have at least 3 classics under his belt, but that's not the case.
The Big Bang was close to me. The Big Bang,
Big Bang was close.
That was close.
Big Bang was close.
Probably his closest one.
Big Bang was close. But think about this. You opened up The Coming the way you opened it up. You opened up Extinction Level Event with a Knots banger that I play in parties.
Yeah, like 3 in a row.
I play that joint in parties. I open that joint up. New York, like that joint is a banger. He's had those songs to where you like, oh, I'm going to get the album because this is a banger, and then you're like, man, what the hell?
Yeah. Maybe the executive producer thing, bro. I definitely feel you on that. The next person I got up is AZ. You know what I mean? Coming off of course,
Life's a Bitch.
You know, the Life's a Bitch verse, which is probably gonna go down history as probably one of the top 10 dopest guest verses ever. You know what I mean? Do or Die to me was the album that I thought he done it. You know what I mean? Again, the stuff he had with Pete, you know, Give Me Yours, Rather
Unique,
you know, Buck Wild, Oh Happy
Jack.
Like,
yes, sir.
You know, the album set off real good. I just don't know what happened. You know, I do know there was some sample and clearance problems in it because Your World Don't Stop, I don't think made the album, or if it made the album, it wasn't.
It was a different version.
Yeah, it's a different version. It is a different version.
The original version of Your World Don't Stop, I think Spunk Bigger did it.
Yeah, that shit banging.
Yes, sir. Them horns.
Yeah, so I'm thinking like that may have been what it was, but I didn't even realize, just sitting here doing the research, this nigga got 9 albums out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wall, Format, Undeniable, Legendary. Like,
and he put albums out.
To me, I just don't know, you know, why he doesn't have it. I mean, I think he's got a dope voice, dope flow, can tell stories, you know, is very visual with it, you know what I mean? But just for some reason, I don't know why AZ hasn't been able to give us 5 mic album like that. Anybody got any ideas or whatever on why or what?
I just think he lives in Nas's shadow. I've said this before on shows. I think I feel like he's like the kid brother, you know, that sort of tries and then just isn't good enough or something. I mean, I love AZ. I champion AZ all the time. But yeah, he's on my list too. I don't think he has a classic, and he should, but I think largely because of Illmatic. I think Illmatic is to blame for that, to be honest. And I don't know. That's the only reason I can come up with.
It's crazy because I always never understood. One thing, I don't understand Nas Spirit. I don't understand Nas Spirit, but I'm gonna say that for at the end of the question I got. But I never understood why him and AZ never did an album, like
a collab album. Yeah,
you know, even the EP. Just like I don't like. I get the industry rules and the contracts.
Yeah.
After a certain time and point in the game, it's just like, yo, just go like, and I get it. Like, there are times when I have to tell artists I'm working with, like, I'm about to call Yao, like, yo, Yao, we got these 2 songs that's been sitting for 2 years. Let's put these shits out. Like, fuck it. They don't gotta be mixed and mastered, nigga. We ain't like, just do it. Like, that's the point that I guess just gets me, because it's like, yo, if you think, come on, Nas got everybody number, AZ got everybody number. You think if Nas and AZ called me like, yo, Kill, you got 5 beats for us? Can we record at your crib? Let's go. Nigga, it's done. Like, so I don't understand why things like that can't happen, especially now. I get why.
Exactly. Yeah, back in the day, they got an excuse.
Now I don't understand how. I don't. If Kanye and Nas can get in the studio and make an album,
you had it right the first time.
Yeah. Kim with her pants and all.
You had it right the first time. You ain't had to change.
No idea if Ye and Nas can get in the studio and do 7 songs. Nas and AZ can't get in the studio to do 7 songs. Like, I'm totally lost on this, man. But
yeah,
you're right. You're right.
To be in the Nas's Shadow made her. But I mean, I think at the end of the day, the wild part is the boy still got like 8 albums out. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, still got these 8 albums that just never, you know, did it. You know, but it is what it is. Portia, you got up next.
Well, I got Rascass.
That's a good one.
I love Rascass. I love Soul on Ice. I think just off that, and I always say this and I always get a heck for it. Off the strength of Nature of the Threat, I feel like that album should be a classic, but it's just not. And I don't understand why, because Rascass is somebody who's lyrically brilliant. His beats, I think, are good enough anyways. I guess somebody who has more of a production ear might disagree, but I think he's got all the elements to make a classic, especially with Soul on Ice being his debut. But for some reason, that album just didn't make it, and people don't love it as much as I feel like maybe we all should. I don't know. So Rascass for me.
Yeah.
I would say the beats though. I like the beats. Like Raz is one of my favorites. I remember hearing Remain Anonymous and Won't Catch Me Running. You had the Jack Frost joint. Soul on Ice was kind of a tad. It fell a tad short of those songs prior to his album. But like you know, Porsche said, like lyrically, the dude's just one of the dopest. You know what I mean? He just never could put a project together. Because even when he did the Assassination, you can kind of tell he tried to do some radio songs, work with Dr. Dre and Twista and trying to do that's just not him. Everybody can't do those kind of records, but yeah, I agree. That's a good choice.
You know, the wild thing with Rascass too is I forget that this dude was on the run and did jail time. Like,
I was just gonna bring that up too.
That sometimes I know people forget about it because I forget about it. And this dude was like on the run. I think another thing with Rascass is there's certain artists, and I hate to say this because Ras got some dope stories. Like Ras is not just rappity rap. I'm just rapping.
Exactly.
Almost a rappity rap, and I'm just rapping rapper who can tell stories too.
Yes.
And the reason why I say that is because y'all know the story of how Alchemist gave him the beat for We Gonna Make It first, or you know, Kissing Them got it, and I heard what Ras did to the beat. And I heard what Kiss did to the beat, and I was like, "This ain't even close." Like, you know
the right person got it.
Like, this ain't even like there are literally parts of fucking, you know, We Gonna Make It that I use in everyday like talk. Like somebody said something to me the other day. I'm like, he be alright though. Like, you know, that rappers get better promotion. Like, it's just too many quotables that Style and Kiss got floating in there, and then you hear the Jadakiss joint, and it's just like, nah, bro. Like nah, you know, and I love when stuff like that happens where you can see one MC would give two MC
the same joint,
that one We Gonna Make It will set off any party. Yo,
indeed.
That like as soon as that beat pops, you going off with We Gonna Make It.
Yeah.
And Rascass joint ain't setting off nothing. You know, and that's the funky. You know what I mean? And it's just like that's the thing with Ras that, you know, I don't know how you can make a rapping nigga who can rap about shit and tell stories, but just can't I mean, Sight used to say he just don't got that je ne sais quoi. Like he just don't got it. You know what I mean? And I think that may be the thing with Ras, that he just doesn't have it. And it's funny because y'all talked about Jada earlier. You know what I mean? But at least I guess with Jada can make a dope song. You know,
yes, he got some dope songs. He got songs.
You know,
he
may not be able to make a good. I mean, and Nick, I'm with you. I remember Won't Catch Me Running, so I'm in no way saying Ras doesn't have dope songs. But there's a difference between having a dope song like The Golden Child that Ras has with Primo, which is a banger. That's totally different than We Gonna Make It. Like that's in a whole nother category. We talking about a song that's nothing radio about it, nothing party about it, but can set off a party. Like that's a science to have to make something like that. So again, but that's a dope Porsche. I mean, that's a dope pick, Porsche.
That's a dope Porsche.
That's a dope pick. Who you got up next?
I'm gonna keep it West Coast, and I'm gonna go with Exhibit.
I was thinking that too.
That's a dope
piggyback off of Rascass. That's another dude.
That's a dope
ass, one of the best voices in hip hop, in my opinion. Rap his ass off.
And that first video was crazy. That first video.
Yes, and that's all him.
Yeah, man. So like
he wrote the video for
he got like 2 or 3 dope albums, but just never got a classic. Never got a classic.
Exhibit's a really good one. Yeah.
Yeah, he gets slept on a lot, man. People don't talk about Exhibit.
Yo, I forgot. I just read something the other day, and I don't know if somebody was joking about it, but they said something happened with Exhibit and Dre, and then it was just like niggas was like he was so scarred he just started doing "Pimp My Ride," just stopped rapping or whatever like that. I forgot what it was. But
it was probably what they was talking about on. I want to say it was either the Breakfast Club or it was an interview. He said that he basically just got caught up in the shuffle of Detox, of not putting out any albums or just not working. Remember they was working on the LA Confidential joint with with Old Boy. He got caught up in all that. Stat Quo, shit, Focus, all those guys. Think about it. Yeah, all of it, shit, Marsh Ambrosius. That whole, you figure that was a 5-year span, 5 to 6 year span.
He was on Loud though, right?
He was on Loud,
yeah,
but you got to think
executive producing,
right? And he was writing
for Dre
on the 2001. He wrote on that. And that led into all of that. Him, Stat Quo. I can't remember the other cat, man. He got a dope verse on the Chronic 2001 joint. But all those guys, think about it. No albums dropped from them dudes.
None of them.
None. And that's a top 20 album. No album singular dropped from any one of those guys.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And he got caught in that.
Hey,
plus he has some money issues going on.
Hey, maybe them Pimp My Ride checks was good, man. You know, we had a couple of seasons of Pimp My Ride. It ain't like that nigga just had.
Yeah, exactly.
They said it was like 15 seasons of that.
Seasons of Pimp My Ride. So who you got up next, right?
This one hurts too, man. Cameron. I love Cameron. I've always been a fan of Cameron. I think he has, like Kill just said, I think he has that je ne sais quoi. Ladies love Cameron and dudes want to be like Cameron. He can rap. He's from uptown. He's from Harlem. But the closest thing he's had to a classic, excluding Diplomatic Immunity, is Purple Haze. And that falls short.
You ain't like it? You didn't like that?
That was dope.
It's not that I didn't like it. It's not a classic.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not a classic. He has dope albums. He got solid 3.5, 3.7, maybe a 4, maybe if you listen to Purple Haze and you really maybe, but we talking classics. Cameron ain't got it, and I always felt as though he would have had one by now,
right?
Especially during the time he came out. Think about it: Horse and Carriage, What Means the World to Me. Those are all dope joints. I thought that was going to be followed up with classic material. To where he would, be in a situation to where he didn't have to do all that Rockefeller stuff, but that wasn't the case.
I think for me, the closest thing I had was the Come Home With Me. That joint, I love that joint. I mean, you're right; it's not a 5 mic classic, but I mean, the stuff Just Blaze was doing on there was.
Oh yeah, I mean, just as a fucking robot at that time, But it just, I don't know, man.
Like you said, he don't have a 5 mic joint. You know what I mean? And so I feel you on that. The next one.
But before you continue, the 5 people got to realize the 5 mic is tough to get with this crowd. Because we don't just toss out classic like every. Because people gonna watch this video and be like, that's a classic. That's a classic.
It's not.
We don't pass out classic like everybody else. So 5 mic ain't easy to come across.
I'm a caveat on that. If you wasn't there and you didn't go and buy the album, or you ain't figure was it gonna be food or gas. Yeah. You can't comment. Don't at me. Real talk. If you ain't had to think about shit, I got $20 and I can get 2 tapes or 1 CD. Am I gonna get food, gas, the CD, or what? If you ain't do that, if you wasn't around when gas was 99 fucking cent, don't at me. Don't at me.
Hey, I ain't mad at them. I ain't mad at them rules at all, man. And I'm glad you said that too, Nick. I would say this next person I'm gonna say would usually cause a fucking 18-wheeler, turnover on Kill Ad back in the day. Now I got like 2 followers, so it shit is really but I mean, it is like,
I'm retweeting my ass off.
Bro, I appreciate it, man. I'm used to getting up from my computer, coming back to 200 tweets. I'm getting up, coming back to 20. I'm like, oh shit, like this is a world over here. But so nobody really pay attention to this, so that's good. I got J. Cole. I got J.
Oh shit!
Nice.
That's a real good one.
Very good.
A lot of people are gonna be like, "Oh, kill," like Nick said. And one of my peoples on Twitter, who probably ain't following me no more, but neither here nor there. He had said, kill. You gotta look at it like this. This new generation is either classic or trash. Like that's it. There is no 3-point mic. There's none of that. It's either classic or trash. So he's like, old head, you gotta understand. That's why when you say something that's 3.5 mics, you got so many people coming at your head because it's either classic or it's trash. So, especially in this J. Cole world. So I know everybody's probably gonna say he's got 5 classics.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
I'm glad Nick broke that down because for me, he doesn't. Born Center is probably the closest thing. Probably I give that a strong 4. I give 2014 Forest Hill 4 mics. Maybe even a 4.5 on a good day. But I just don't think that J. Cole has that 5 mic certified classic album. Now again, I understand these J. Cole fans. I get it. Y'all will still be listening to Born Center 20 years from now. So again, I understand why somebody out there is gonna say, "Man, kill you bugging," and Cole got it. But for me personally, he doesn't have any 5 mic classic albums, and I'll attribute it to I'm not a big fan of his production. Number one, you know what I mean, and it's hard to tell somebody who's going platinum with no features, you need some features.
This is my biggest thing. I'm so glad you're saying it, and I don't have to say it today.
Yeah, you ain't got Porsche. I'll take it this time because again, I got 8 followers, so don't even worry about that. But what I'm saying. But the point
don't worry, Kill. We'll get you your 10,000 followers back. Don't worry.
I'm not. Hey, I actually like it being quiet. I'm not gonna front. Sometimes it gets a little boring, but I'm like, where are my Mad Comedy people? Oh shit, they not following me.
I'm the only one left.
Well, me too. I like Mad Comedy, so me and Red.
I could say right now on Twitter, fuck Mad Comedy. Don't nobody say nothing. not your lad. Not what I'm doing. But all that to just, I've never been a big fan of his production. I think if he got some outside production, I don't even care about the guests because I think it's cool that he can hold down 3 verses, on his own. So I've never been like, I think that's dope. But I just think his production, even with Born Center, I don't know why he gets the pass for he can use the same sample Tribe did for Electric Relaxation.
Yeah, he was the Outcast one too.
Yeah, he did the same thing without I don't know how he just gets this pass up. That's Cole. I feel like it's almost just like, that's Cole. He could do that, type thing. So but yeah, that's my thing. I think J. Cole should definitely have a classic album, and in my opinion, he doesn't.
Especially if people putting him up there with Kendrick,
Hell yeah. That's another great point. And I know people got Cole over Kendrick, but this is why I said I know that there are gonna be people watching like, you bugging. He does have classics, but now I believe Kendrick has 2 classics.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
I agree.
To me, that would be the difference. I think Kendrick has 2 certified 1994 source 5 mic classic albums.
Yes. Agreed.
Cole does. I feel Cole has 2019 classic or trash classic. Yeah. You know what I mean? So to me, that's the difference. But Porsche, you got up next.
Foxy Brown. I love Foxy. Love her albums, but they're just none of them are classics, and it's disappointing because I feel like Il Nana has so much potential. China Doll also to a degree. Broken Silence was like a decline from those 2, but Il Nana for sure.
It had the best album cover though.
Which one?
Broken Silence.
Which one did? But another thing is, funny enough, is that Method Man is a feature on Il Nana, and that song is dope. It's fun. It's amazing.
It's a club banger. It's a club joint. It's early on.
And it's fun. The thing is Meth's dope on it. I think he's again the things everyone says about Meth. He's complimentary to anybody he's rapping alongside, and Foxy's no different. And honestly, the Il Nana album's good, but is it a classic? No, it's not. And I go back to like Lil Kim's Hardcore more often than I go back to Il Nana. And again, Foxy's one of my favorites. She'll always be part of the conversation, but unfortunately, no classics, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think the wild part with Fox, Here's the thing I've always wondered with Fox, and I guess maybe it don't really matter. I never knew if she wrote her rhymes. You know what I mean? I never knew if I felt like she got caught up in that whirlwind, like Nick said earlier about Def Jam, of just those singles and those club bangers. And I felt like if you was on Def Jam like post '94, like the goal was more club radio, and then it'd be like, give the streets 2 or 3 songs to keep them happy. You know what I mean? And, so I think, that played a huge part in it too. I'll never forget an interview too. I read something about Jay kind of saying, Foxy made her choice. Kind of being like, Jay being like, yo, we had the Ain't No Nigga joint, but then you chose Nas. You wanted to go with them firm niggas. And now you want.
I remember him saying that.
Yeah. Over here because that shit. Yeah. It was like, nah, shorty, you made your choice.
Yeah, that's a valid point.
Yeah, but I mean, it's true. It's like, yo, you wanted to run with them Queens niggas, and anybody who knows anything about New York,
man,
don't really rock with each other like that. So that's even more disrespect. That it ain't like you left me to fuck with Big. You left me to go fuck with Nas and Queens niggas and shit like that. So. I don't know if that played again, because I totally believe that Jay can push that button and dead your career. You know what I mean? So he may have pressed the button on Fox.
Shit, look at Emil. He changed the verse to Emil gone.
Exactly.
It's dead your career if he wants to.
Yeah. You was gonna say something, Nick?
I wonder if there's like some underlying tension between Jay and AZ. Because AZ is a Brooklyn cat.
But I think the wild part was when it's so funny because to this day, and I used to hear people, they said, and again, this is just stuff that I heard in the industry when I was at the station, but they would say things like Jay would make fun of AZ, call him like the mozzarella gangster. You know what I mean? Like all the mozzarella, the way you talk about paper. But then, because remember AZ was in the Dead President's video.
Him, Biggie, Smooth the Hustler.
So it was like, but yeah, maybe he did feel some kind of way about that. But I mean, I was shocked he was in the video because that was always Nas's name. You know what I mean? So I was kind of shocked he was even in the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it was some Brooklyn shit. Who knows?
Yeah, that's what it had to be. Brooklyn, Brooklyn stuff.
We'll never know. Nick, who you got up next?
I want to say Lupe Fiasco, even though I love the Cool album. I don't love Food and Liquor like most people do. It's a dope album. I like the Cool better. Lupe is a dope MC, dope concepts. Just never put together the classic album. Even though his fans will tell you he has 2, he don't have them to me. But he got close, but he doesn't have them. And then of course, like he kind of went off the rails a little bit with label issues and like creative control issues and shit like that. But Lupe Fiasco never lived up to his potential, in my opinion.
All right, yeah, no doubt. Brett, who you got?
I'm going with Big L, man.
Hey. Why I think of that one?
I was never a fan of lifestyles of
same
here. I just
they're gonna come for your head for that one.
Hey man, at DJ Rec 1.
That's a top 5 album in 1995.
It's not. It's not. That shit was so far under the radar. Like it was not. I'm not saying that he didn't have the potential because he was murdered, but that album is not what everybody sits here and it ain't the greatest thing since sliced bread. It's not. I get what people are saying. The potential is there, but you can't always take someone at their potential because if not, you get a cannabis. Yeah, man, Big L. I'm sorry, bro.
I feel you on that. I was hoping that the second joint, what was that joint?
You're talking about the joint that was on Raucous?
Yeah.
The Raucous joint?
This joint. This
Big Picture.
Big Picture.
That was a dope album.
Yeah, I was hoping this would be it. I was hoping that this, because I'm like, when you dropped the Ebonics, I was like, yo, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And then I heard what's the joint that Pete did? Hold It.
Yeah, the joint with Miss Jones.
Right, I heard that.
And Stan's, is that his name? Stan Smith?
Stan Spit.
Yeah, Stan Spit. It just after that joint in the track listing, it got funny. And I gotta say this, man. I love Kid Capri as a DJ, but man, as a producer, I don't get it. He'll tear a party down, but as a producer, man, he definitely changed the climax of an album. And the next song on that album was that. Yeah. So I'm just saying. All
right, I feel you. The next person I got Freeway out of Philly. You know what I mean? When Free first dropped, I really didn't like Free at first. When I heard him, I didn't like his style. I wasn't really feeling it. Then on top of that, y'all know my young boy is Cassidy, so the whole Cassidy Freeway battle, it was like, nah, fuck Freeway. But then, like, after a while, I was like, yo, like, once I got used to his style, I was like, and it was the same thing. I think anytime somebody comes out with a different style, because I didn't like Sadat X at first. I was like, yo, who is this dude? But at the time, I was like, Sadat is one of my favorites. Same thing with Free. But he just hasn't had that classic album. You know, Philadelphia Freeway, very dope album. You know what I mean? But it's not a classic. The Free at Last. You know, I just feel like it kind of went downhill. You know, when he got with, to me, the closest joint he got is
the Jake One joint.
Jake One joint. That's the closest.
And I think it's just because
stimulus package.
It's because the production. You know what I mean? I think if he got in the studio, like, and Jake to me is always hungry. Like, that's one thing I never gotta say. You get in the studio with a hungry Jake One. Like, nah, just get in the studio with Jake One. But I mean, stuff like that, like, I would just be like, Jake, I know you're doing the tuxedo stuff. I know you're doing other stuff. Just give me a time when you could, you know, send me 30 beats and I'll pick 14. Like, to me, this should be a series. Like,
I agree.
An ongoing series between Jake and Freeway, because they just mesh perfect.
Sounded good together,
yeah. That was as perfect as I think we're gonna hear Freeway.
Right. You know, so I just wish, because what happens is sometimes when you connect with a person, and I'll give a great example, because Fashawn did it. Fashawn out of Cali, he did it
with Exile.
No. See, that's the thing.
Alchemist. Did it with Alchemist early. Yeah. That's a beautiful album.
And then he went, and the next joint came out with Exile, and I was hyped. I was like, oh man, I can't wait. Put that joint on, and again, no disrespect to Exile, I just wasn't feeling the production.
Same here.
And to me, it's one of those things where if you can't afford Alchemist all the time, then don't ever use it. You know, there's just certain producers you don't bounce back from. Like, it's very hard if Just Blaze circa 2003 produced your whole album and then you gotta go to somebody else. Like, you know what I mean? It's almost like, and I want to do a show about people who leave their original producers, you know, thinking the grass is greener, and that shit is not green at all. But it's just one of those things where it's like, after you do an album with Jake One, my nigga, I don't really know where you going for better beats. You know, I'm not saying you can't find them, but you're gonna have to have an ear to the street to really compete with something like that. So I mean, I think that's just got to be it, because I mean, Free is free. You know what I mean? If you don't like his voice, you don't like his flow, I totally get it. But if you do, then holding that man back is the beats. You know what I mean? So Free is definitely one of my ports. You got, who's your last joint?
Lost Boys. Lost Boys is one of my favorites. I like them. I think they're fun. I think they're gritty. I think they're just they're all around really great. And I think they appeal to a wide audience of people and what they like. And I feel like they should have had a classic somewhere between Legal Drug Money maybe and Love, Peace, and Nappiness, something like that. Either one of those. But for some reason they came up short, and I don't actually know why that is. I personally like Love, Peace, and Nappiness better than Legal Drug Money, but again, it's
wow.
We're gonna have to talk about this, so.
I know. I enjoy Legal Drug Money a lot, don't get me wrong, but if I have to choose to listen to one, like right now, I'm going to choose Love, Peace, and Nappiness. I think it's just a funner sort of album. It's just easier. I don't know why. But anyways, I feel like Lost Boys should have had a classic. I think they should have had a 5 mic, but they just didn't. And I know after Freaky Top passed away, it was kind of no turning back, and it just kind of ruined everything. But I don't know. I don't know what made them fall short. before that.
When did Freaky Ty get killed? Was this
99?
99, yeah.
Like what album was that? Was he on?
It was after
Love,
Peace, and Happiness. So actually,
they was working on the third one. Yes,
they were working on the third one because they did have a 1999 release. So
yeah, he's missing on that third one.
Yeah, he's missing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the energy.
I didn't even check for it because Freaky Ty wasn't there. Yeah.
I think the hard part with me with the Lost Boys, I just always looked at them like party rappers. You know what I mean? Like to me, they was like they was just dope for like being at Morgan at that time, Philly, New York, Jersey. Next Coupe to Beam was come on in the club.
Man, Renee.
You know what I mean? I can't. The wild part is I've never really banged the Lost Boys just like to listen to. Like I would bang them like going to a party. Like they were my get hype, go to a party type thing. But I don't know if I've ever like just been like, yo, I want to hear Renee. Like, you know what I mean?
we bang that Legal Drug Money. We bang
Legal Drug is a dope album, but I'm with Kill, man.
Yeah,
95.
We used to do that. Get out the car, and be like, yo. Lost Boys.
Yo, I smacked my man in the face one time, man, doing that shit in the club, yo.
We was trying to make up some crazy handshakes. Like,
yeah, man, doing the handshakes.
I definitely give him props for that. Got left, man.
Really don't got. I want to say. I'm gonna say. The only reason I ain't gonna say y'all boy, because I know you from a different era, and albums didn't matter as much then. But that's Grand Puba. But I'm not gonna go there.
No. Albums mattered back.
I'm gonna say Grand Puba as a solo artist because
I feel you on that.
Hell yeah, you're right.
Like Real to Real had some joints on there. I know you like it. I like 2000 better, but none of the albums are bad. It's just when I hear people talk about, like y'all say, Grand Puba was that dude. At one point, he was that guy, and I'm like, why he can't make a classic album? And then when you hear interviews with Dante Ross, who was executive producing, he was one of the laziest rappers. He had God-given talent, and he just didn't put forth the effort.
Yeah,
I mean that could be it too. And I think the thing with Pooh, I mean, keep in mind, I'm 45, so Pooh is out when I'm 17. So the way that I'm able to look at hip hop now and kind of break it down the way I do, you know, we weren't looking at it like that when we were 17, 18. You know, so I remember saying, yo, Puba is probably one of the nastiest rappers on the planet. At that time, looking back, I probably should have been saying Puba's one of the nastiest dudes to go to if you want a 16 on the planet. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but at that time, we weren't just breaking down hip hop like who got a nice 16 and who's nice. It was just, yo,
you nice.
Everything he's on, he kills, and that's just that. And, you know, but I think looking back at it is that. And then Pooh's style, keep in mind, like, again, and I didn't bring this up on the Woo show, like, yo, I didn't realize RZA's fucking 53 years old. I mean, just like, like these are old niggas. Like, so I'm doing the math, like, wait a second, damn, that nigga was 27 when this came out. Like, I'm 18, this man already 27. This a grown man. You know what I mean? Rapping to kids in college, rapping to kids in high school. You know what I mean? So Puba was an old man. You know what I mean? So by the time 2000 came out, it was cool, but all that singing shit Pooh used to be doing, like Pooh was everything.
Yeah.
It was like dog, have you been to the Queensbridge lately? Like, nobody wants to hear you singing no more. Like, stop that. You know, so I think that's maybe one of the reasons why Pooh couldn't do that, because Pooh kind of may have been meth before meth. He may have been the person who's like, yo, he's going to kill you with Mary J. Blige. He's going to kill you on the Brand New Heavies. He's going to drop a verse. Anything Pooh is on.
That Brand New Heavies joint.
Yeah. Like,
that was crazy.
Anything Pooh is on was going to be. I remember in '93, if it said featuring Grand Puba, it was done. It was what? Beat Nuts? I don't care who it was. If Pooh was on there, Watch the Sound with Fat Joe. I mean,
oh wow, damn, bro.
Hell yeah. Woo. Yeah. But like I said, maybe he was cut from that meth and Inspector Deck cloth. Like, yo, I'm gonna give you this hot, 16. Maybe that's why he was dope with Brand Nubians for the first album. I'm gonna give you these dope 16s here and there. I'm gonna have my 3 solo songs, which is gonna be crazy, like you said, Nick. You like some of the joints, so maybe he's good for 3 or 4 songs. But yeah, so Pooh is definitely a dope choice because he should have definitely
Had a classic.
had a classic album, hands down, easily. And truth be told, his son is actually nice too. Check him out. Like, just Google Graham.
You've heard him?
Yeah, he's cool. He's dope.
Okay.
He's dope. I mean, I ain't co-signing a nigga like I ain't signing him.
No. I'm just saying if you say check something out, I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, it's almost like, you know how you getting old when you be watching the NBA and they be like, hey, they're Gary Payton's son. You like, God damn, I watched your father play. Like, you get old when you gotta be like, man, this is Poopa's son. Yeah, bro. Like, I'm getting old. Like, so yeah, but check that out. Rec, who you got up for your last one? Whoever you got left.
It's a group. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Das EFX, man.
Oh, good one.
Have not seen two dudes change
Oh,
the
you
course of
didn't
hip
think
hop.
You didn't like
Classic?
Dead Serious? No.
Wow.
Nah, man.
Wow,
I love. Look, listen to me. I love them. Still do. But I can't give it 5 mics.
Yeah, I could get that first joint 5 mics, but I get where you come from. I get you.
Loved it. I just can't give it 5 mics. Y'all know, man. Go ahead.
What would keep you from giving Dead Serious 5 mics?
I just think it was about 3 or 4 filler joints on there, man. Without them 3 or 4, or if they'd cut them 3, yeah.
Put Hard Like a Criminal on there.
Yeah, put some of those remixes on the
Yeah.
B-side joints that East West was releasing at the time. I have some of them too. Put some of the remixes on there and don't make them a remix. Just make them into a new song or something like that. Take off.
I see what you're saying, because I'm looking at the album. You got Mike Checker. You got
it's bangers. It's bangers.
Lucy's
Lucy.
So I'm talking about shitting on yourself.
Take Lucy. Take Dumb. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? Take Lucy. Take Dum Dum. And take
If only. If you take, because outside that,
Yes.
you got Mike Checker.
Yes.
And they want to.
Yes.
Lucy,
Yes.
Dum Dums. East Coast was banging.
Yes. East Coast was banging. The remix to that was crazy.
And Classic Ass was crazy. And Straight Sewer was crazy. So
Yes.
I get you.
Take those
I'll
three.
give it, but I see you with Lucy's and Dum Dums.
That it's a 4.5 for me. Take those 3 off and replace them with the 3 remixes that we all know and have heard that was on the B-sides that they released, and you have a 5 mic out. Because it's like, damn, you can do this, but you put this shit on here? Dog, don't hold out. Put those on there. So that's the only reason I say that. The second album,
Yeah, I ain't like that one. I like Hold It Down, but that's it.
The thing with Straight Up Suicide to me was the production was just
production was off. It was off.
Lyrically, they killed it. They stopped Giggity. Lyrically, to me, they
just spit.
But the production just was not there.
Yes.
Like,
if they could have gotten the same production they got on Dead Serious with the lyrics in number 2, then shit, I wouldn't be talking about that.
Yeah, and like Nick said, Hold It Down.
Hold It Down.
Hold It Down to me could have been a classic, but it was too many songs.
Too long.
Like
Yeah,
20 songs.
20 songs.
Yes, it was long.
If they
Chop
cut
it down to
20
15.
down to 12,
Yeah.
I definitely could see them having a 5 mic.
Hold It Down. They had skits on there too, right?
Had a couple.
I don't remember. I don't.
They had like a couple, like maybe 2 skits. So it may have been like 18 songs, 2 skits.
That still was too long.
Yeah.
But if they would have trimmed the fat off of that, that's definitely.
Yeah. So that's all I'm saying. Trim the fat off of Dead Serious, and we good.
All right, no doubt. The last person I got, just like Rec, it's a group that I champion. So, like Rec said, it definitely hurts me. Dilated Peoples, man.
Oh, hell yeah.
I know a lot of people who don't rock with Dilated, and I'm amazed by it. I think Evidence is dope. I think Rock Ira Science is dope. You got DJ Babu, one of the dopest DJs on the planet. But I think the problem with that, I mean, they had the platform, they had Expansion Team, Neighborhood Watch.
What was the last one? Directors of Photography?
Yeah, Directors of Photography. I think the closest could have been Expansion Team. They had Beat Nuts, they had the Beat Miners, they had Air. I think the thing with them is, I think it's that hodgepodge of producers that they get. You know what I mean?
Disrupt the sound.
Yeah, like it's almost like I could guarantee you, if it's a Dilated album, Alchemist gonna probably do half.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Alchemist beats, so you good to go.
Mm-hmm.
But then you probably gonna get 2 Evidence beats. Then you're gonna get 2 Babu beats. Then you're gonna get a Joey Chavez beat. Then you may get some other rant. So I just think, like, if Alchemist did the whole album, I think it would just be crazy. But you can't do that because you got Babu, who's a producer, and Ev, who's a
Evidence, who's a producer. Yeah,
you know what I mean. So I think that's one of those things where, like, you know, I would love to just hear them say, like, even if they just say, "Yo, Ev, you produced the whole album," or Babu, you maybe not Babu. Alchemist, you produced the whole album. Instead of it being, like I said the other night, like it sounds like you ordering at a Chinese restaurant. Like, give me 5 Alchemists, 2 Joey Chavez's, 3 Babus, 2 Evidences, and give me a Beat Miners, and give me a Premier too. Get Premier back in here. Like, no, just stop ordering Chinese food and just like, Al, send us 30 beats. We're gonna pick 15, and that's going to be the album.
That's a bad reference, man.
The Chinese
Babu
food
is Asian, man.
It's just what I call when people make albums like that. I call it ordering Chinese food, because like, let me get chicken wings, let me get salt, pepper, fried rice. No, it's no disrespect against that.
I know, but people are gonna take that and be like, he doesn't like.
No.
Nah.
Don't do that. I'm not just like. Well, here's the great part, right? I got 1 follower now, so it ain't nobody. I mean, who am I blocking? I'm blocking y'all 3, okay? So around here on Kill Ad now.
Shit, man.
No more. That's the great thing. I got Dilated Peoples for that, because I really think that they are so dope, and I just don't understand how they don't have a 5 mic album out. And I got 1 more on the R&B side. I got Dwelle.
Oh, hell yeah.
I really believe, like, Dwelle, when Dwelle came out, I want to say I got his, oh, God, everything is Dwelle.
Yeah, Dwelle is dope, man.
I got this joint right here called Rise. This was, like, his first independent album, which is probably, to me, his best album. In my opinion, this joint Rise. Like, you still see Dwelle with the low top, with the low.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Wow.
So, this is like this is my favorite Dwelle album right there. But I mean, great songs, dope, but just doesn't have a 5 mic classic album. When he came out, I really was like, yo, this could be, and I know it sounds bad, but it was like he could be the next D'Angelo. Like, he could be that next neo soul dude. You know what I mean? Not D'Angelo, because D'Angelo is just D'Angelo.
I was just gonna say that's some pretty big shoes to fill.
Yeah, and I didn't mean it like that, but I just was like, okay, when he goes on his 30-year hiatuses.
Yeah, you need somebody to fill that void.
Yeah, you need something to fill in.
Somebody to play some music with some soul. So it was just like, be that next. Let me say that he could have been the next soul dude. You know what I mean? And I felt like I don't know what it is with Dwelle, but yeah, that's it. Anybody else got any other people left?
I would say the Alcoholics. Like, very dope group.
Yeah,
I love the first 2 albums, just not classic. You know what I mean? It was like a couple of, like, something was missing that kept it from being like, boom, classic.
Yeah. Now I agree. 21 and up is probably the closest for me. But that's a good point, because again, you're talking about 2 incredible MCs. You know what I mean? I know
J-Ro and Taz.
Love, but
J-Ro was my guy. Yeah.
J-Ro was dope. Like, most people I know who talk about the alcohol is always Tash. And I'm like, y'all stop.
J-Ro was dope.
J-Ro, like, he ain't got bars. Like, dude is nice. And then you got E Swift. You got a DJ and an ill producer. I just, and again, I don't know if that was, I know they would grab beats sometimes from over here and over there. And sometimes I'd rather you just roll the dice on your crew, and again, I get it. Maybe the label was saying you need this beat or you need this producer or whatever. But so many times I just wish, you could just run with your crew, especially if you got a producer in the crew. It would make no sense to me if Nick and Porsche rhyme, Rec is the DJ, and I'm the producer. We the group, we Apartment 5B, and I only do 3 songs on the album. Like, I'm the producer of the group, I'm the producer. Like, Nick, you the driver, but I'm gonna bring Ev over to drive. Like, Nick, I'm the driver. Let me drive. Why am I in the group if I'm the driver, but you're gonna go get 8 other people to drive? Like,
True.
I don't understand. Like, so yeah, I never understand how there's a producer in the group, but you got 8 other niggas making the beats for you. Like, I never got that. So, Porsche, you got anybody else left?
Nope.
All right, Rec, you good?
I'm good.
All right, give them all the information, good brother.
All right, man. The website's under construction. new.worldwiderec1.com. It'll be up in the next couple of days.
No doubt. Nick, give him everything, good brother.
Kill will post it up. I know he only got 200
I got
followers.
followers. So
he only got 200 followers.
You better say your name now, because ain't nobody gonna hear.
Twitter is Balloon Like the Daylight album. So it's at Balloon. Instagram is Starsky with the Gum Soul. Ghostface reference.
All right, Porsche, give him everything.
Oh, you'll post it up to your 2 followers. I'm okay with that.
Yo. Ain't much getting posted on Kill Ave no more. This ain't even the avenue.
Kill Ave has a detour.
Kill Ave.
Kill Ave has a detour route, and it's
I'm like Kill Lane right now. Like I'm not
Kill Lane.
You're
I'm on a lane right now. I'm not on Boulevard.
That's okay. I don't mind you posting it up on Kill Lane. That's
Kill Lane.
We gonna call that.
Then you have some about Nas to say.
Oh yeah, thank you. See, this is why you keep younger people around you, older people around you to remind you shit. All right, so everybody hit me yesterday. Lost Tapes, Nas coming back.
Oh right.
2 Lost Tapes 2. I made a comment. Basically, I just said, well, I guess if you can't make no dope music no more, then you gotta go with the Lost Tapes. Are y'all hyped about this Lost Tapes thing? I just seen the video. I don't know if he even put out a date. I don't know if this is just a new 2019.
Depends on the era.
We'll just wake up. We'll just wake up tomorrow, and the Lost Tapes will be here. Are you all excited about Lost Tapes Part 2? Right? Are you excited?
Nick hit it on the head, man. It depends on the era he's pulling from. If it's the fucking Nostradamus and You Owe Me and all that bullshit, man, look, you can paint that tape black and keep that motherfucker. I don't want it. But if it's what he pulled from for the first one, yeah, I'm gonna sit down with some popcorn. I'm good. It just depends, man. It's Nas. We don't fucking know what we get.
What about you, Nick?
Same thing. Depends on where he's pulling from. If it's like some leftover Kanye session shit, I don't want to hear it. But if he got some heaters that didn't make his prime albums, I want to hear. I'm gonna listen to it anyway. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen to it.
That's my dude. But yeah, it depends, man.
I'm gonna Spotify that motherfucker.
And that's the key thing that I always say to people. Like, there's a big difference between I'll listen to damn near anything, but am I hyped for it? You know,
Exactly.
like I'm actually hyped for this Skyzoo and Pete Rock out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly.
yes.
Like,
Yes.
I'm hyped.
Yes.
For that. With this Lost Tapes, I'm with you, Nick. I'll listen to it. You know what I mean? But Porsche, what about you?
Yep, you guys nailed it. I am not. I would never say I'm excited after the Nasir stuff. I'm not excited about anything Nas is putting out. Definitely depends when he's pulling from. But to be honest, I feel like it's just going to be a mishmash of everything across the board, and I don't know that it's going to be great. So,
because if you look at the last decade, right? So you're talking Hip Hop Is Dead, Untitled, Distant Relatives, Life Is Good, Nasir. Like, that ain't that good. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like Untitled, Hip Hop Is Dead. I know some people that don't like Distant Relatives, even though I liked it.
I liked it.
If he's pulling from that time, I mean, I didn't even care for a few of those albums. Why would I want to hear the song that didn't make the album?
Yeah.
Right.
See,
I feel like he's going to pull from every era of his, and it's just not going to sound great. That's what I think.
And see, my worry is that I'm with what Nick said about the last decade or the last 20 years, and it's just how labels have changed. And what I mean by that is a lot of the stuff in the 90s that we got from the Lost Tapes was either sampling clearance,
Exactly.
it was too hood for the radio. You know what I mean? So it was dope. Whereas now in this era, I don't know if there's really that much sampling clearance hoopla anymore. You know what I mean? I don't know if there's any more. Like when he made the nigga album, I mean, was he even going for radio on that album? So what got left off? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
So I definitely feel Nick. I'm not hype about it.
I'm not hype. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll listen to it.
Like,
Again, I mean, hell yeah, I'll listen to it, but as far as like being hyped, like everybody like, yo, OG, look, Nas, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing again. I know that me, Kim, Ye, and Psalm are probably the only 3 people who like Nasir. So, and Psalm just was born. So that nigga and Kim probably really didn't like it either. So I know I'm really like one of the last people who like this album. I totally forgot because this was the chair spin with Bezo. What did y'all give Nasir? What did you give it?
Nasir?
Yeah.
Dos.
Damn, okay. Nick, what you
I think I gave it a 3. He had it was 7 songs. It was 3 songs that I really liked on there. But my issue, like I said, Kanye, you will rap on one beat when the album come out, it ain't the same beat. So I feel like Nas wasn't in pocket a lot, and I don't think it was his fault. I think it was Ye's post production that did that.
Yeah, that was terrible.
All right, and what about you, Porsche?
I think I gave it 2.5 to 3 mics at most. I didn't love Nasir. I thought it was just kind of put together and rushed and like out of pocket.
All right.
Completely out of pocket.
Do y'all think Nas has anything left in the tank? Because after Nasir, again, I liked it. I even liked what he did on Swiss
Beat. Yeah, the Swiss joint.
Yeah,
I love that song.
I like the Swiss joint. Yeah.
So y'all think
Nas
does still have something left?
Yes.
You just gotta give it the right producer though.
He need the right motivation, right producer. I think you just got to catch him in the right pocket.
All right, no doubt. All right, well, y'all know where it is with me. It is no longer Kill 889. Prayerfully, I'll get it back. I'm writing letters to copyright lawyers across the country. Y'all done screwed me over. It is Kill at Apartment 5B. That's so weird to say.
It's at Kill Apartment 5B.
Thank you, Portia. This is how weird it is.
It's at
Kill at Apartment 5B.
I don't even know the deal.
Oh shit!
I'm sitting up here the whole time. I gotta understand, man. Philly raised me to always think 3 steps ahead. So when they locked my account for the second time, I was like, this shit ain't gonna last. So I'm in the barbershop like Kill 215. Take it. Hey, shit, Kill. I'm like, fuck it, Kill Apartment 5B. That's where we're gonna go. So that is the new Twitter. Kill 889 is still IG. We'll make beats for food. .com is still the website. I will check y'all next week.
Thanks.